Appreciate it, Doctor. You too, Doc. Be safer. 7:47, Monday, February 7th. Let's go to the phones here. I know we had this lady on hold for a minute. Ma'am, are you still there?
Yes, I am.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
Okay.
What do you think of everything that's going on this island?
That's the reason why I called is because you know how, okay, if you go into the hospital and you have a partner that is pregnant, right? And they tested positive.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't test the spouse because he's fully vaccinated. And then when they get out of the hospital, because their partner tested positive, they send them to a quarantine at Bayville. But the partner is not allowed, but he's been around her, and they're sending him home to quarantine for 10 days. And I don't get it, because if you're fully vaccinated and you had the boost, the shot after you get the first, the second, and then you get the other shot, they send you home to quarantine for 10 days when they didn't test you because you're fully vaccinated. Why didn't they test him when he was in the hospital? Because he was with somebody that was with COVID. So they send the father home to his children, not knowing if he's positive.
Okay, could we start at the beginning, ma'am? Because I'm not sure. Just give me a little more information on the situation.
Okay. You went. Okay. You have a partner that is pregnant.
Okay.
You go to the hospital. They test They test your partner that's pregnant, and she tested positive.
Okay.
So her husband wasn't tested. So he stays in the hospital, and he's not allowed to come out during the time he's in the hospital. So they transfer you to Bayville because they're going to monitor you over there because she tested positive, right? So you have to quarantine yourself for 10 days. So because your partner is fully vaccinated, not stay in Bayville, and they didn't test him. So how would they know if he's positive or not if you didn't test him and you're around somebody that's positive?
I thought you said he got tested, or
No.
So the pregnant woman got tested positive. The husband was not tested.
Right, at GMH.
At GMH. Then he was there for the birth and everything?
She didn't give birth because I guess, they're waiting for the baby to go in its place. So because she tested positive, they quarantined her at Bayville. She was transferred to Bayville because she's under GMH, but she's not yet ready to give birth. But the husband is not allowed to stay with her, and she has complications. So if you have complications and you didn't test, the partner is positive, aren't you supposed to test the husband? Are you supposed to test the husband, or is it because he's fully vaccinated, doesn't need to get tested?
Okay, Dr. Hoa is texting me. He says if he's fully vaccinated and close contact, he can be tested on day 4 or 5 if asymptomatic. However, he should be tested once the spouse is positive for a screening. I guess, ma'am, we don't really have all the info there. I don't know if you're saying fully vaxxed. I don't know if that is with a booster or what. I don't
Yes,
know.
He's with the booster.
Okay.
He has everything, but they want him to go home and quarantine for 10 days.
Ma'am, maybe I can put you on hold and we'll get your number offline and maybe get more info so that we can.
I just wanted to find out because I know when you go into GMH and somebody tests positive and you're with that person, you have to get them tested too, because if they have children at home and they're going to have to take care of their children that are not vaccinated and they're young. How will we know if he's asymptomatic?
Right.
So it's just going to keep spreading. It's going to keep going around and around, and they have elderly. So is this something that we have to deal with on our own because they made that mistake and not suffer the consequences if somebody passes away? I don't understand how the system is working, but this is a very scary thing that we're having right now because we're still in the triple digit. So I don't know how public health is running, how GMH is running, but they need to fix all these things because this is why things are happening. Children are getting sick. People are testing positive. I mean, if we did the first one and it was on the Delta and we came down, so why can't we just do the same thing?
I think we're trying the same thing, but what they're saying is this Omicron is so contagious that that's why we're seeing this spread.
But they gave that morality that if you're fully vaccinated with the booster, are we supposed to go 5 days, 10 days? Which is it? It's so confusing because you cannot send home somebody and say, quarantine yourself at home for 10 days. And it's showing in the paper that if you're fully vaccinated, the people that are vaccinated, so I'm confused. Which is it? 10 days or 5 days? You don't have to. That's why these things are spreading. It's not because, the government needs to reanalyze all these things that's happening. Because right now it's the people. Oh, too much government and all those things, but we're not realizing what's really happening at the hospital, what's happening in the school. If the kids don't go to school and they're coughing, they have to come home, and then if they don't go to school, they're going to truancy. It's confusing. It's very confusing of what's going on now. They need to really write this thing down or put it up, because what Estevez said, that people are going to play around to go get tested. This is not playing around. This is where people are concerned about their lives, about the family's life. Who would want to line up there for hours, wasting their gas for $5 a gallon to waste that testing? I don't think people are playing around. I think this is real for everybody. Everybody's going through anxiety and stress. They're afraid. A lot of people are dying already.
A lot of people are dying. I want to go back to what you said about the governor. The governor kind of came out at the beginning of all this, and she said, "Oh, it's going to be mild. Oh, we're prepared for it," she said. And then we didn't really hear from her. I think she went off island. She's off island at Washington, D.C. or something. But you talk about her reanalyzing this. But we saw this in the Delta surge. She kind of popped out and was like, "Yeah, everybody, we're going to have a surge. Okay, see you later." Then we didn't really hear from her. And it's kind of turning into the same thing now. Are you disappointed at all that she doesn't come out and maybe explain some of these decisions and how they change so rapidly?
Yeah, I'm disappointed because she's supposed to be leading these people, because that's why she's sitting there. That's why they voted for her to sit down, so she can take care of her people. If it wasn't for her people, she won't be sitting where she's at. So she's supposed to be taking care of us and to us, because I read it in the news. The next surge that's coming is going to be a super typhoon. You're right. It's a super typhoon, but let's not care after you mention super typhoon. Let's do everything. People stop playing around. This is not a joke. Of course it's not a joke. This is really a super typhoon. It's not a joke. You're supposed to be here for our people. Speak out. Come out. Because that's why you're there. As a governor, you're our governor. Come out. Because you're not the only one. You're lucky. She's lucky she's not here. But the lieutenant, acting governor, if she's not here, come out and speak to your people. That's what he needs to do. Because he's the acting governor now. Stand. He should stand right now and look at everything that's happening, because they're talking about 3 digits. Dr. Holwyn is correct. These elderlies. We got to look at positives for the elderlies, because look what's happening. In one day, 4 people passed, and look at their ages. We could have prevented this from happening. People with disabilities. We have to really look at, we got newborn children every single day, and we don't know what's really going to happen. People, yes, they're gathering out there. Maybe if she just put this on a stop the way she did it in the beginning. It's okay because it's not your family, but we care about our family. So whoever's hearing me out there, we have to speak up. The people have to speak up because this is wrong. It's really wrong. But that's what I wanted to check, Chris, is the hospital. How do they run? If you don't, your family member comes in. If you're not allowed to come out to get your food and we have to make them bring it up, what's the difference of when you're going to be quarantined at big? Because your husband is not he's not registered in the hospital, and your partner tested positive. Shouldn't quarantine together? I think they're supposed to quarantine together because somebody tested positive. If that's what they're trying to say, that if you're fully vaccinated, then why go to quarantine for 10 days?
Well, ma'am, don't hang up, Cam. I'm going to put you on hold. I'm going to get your number, and then we'll. I know Dr. Ho is asking for your number, so
okay.
We'll get more information from you. But I want to thank you for your call. I think a lot of people agree with you that the governor, the acting governor. I don't know if it's just they're too busy with the re-election or whatever, but I don't think that they get it. I don't think they get that. You can't just come out at the beginning of this thing and be like, okay, guys, it's going to be mild. See you later. And then, on our end, we're struggling with these triple digits. I mean, you're saying triple digits, man, but we're not talking 100. We're talking like 700 routine every night, right?
Right.
And people are dying. They're dying. We had like over 20 people die in January. So don't tell us it's mild. But if you are going to tell us it's mild, don't treat us like idiots. And that's the thing I don't like, is I feel like they think we're stupid because the governor will come out and say it's mild, we're prepared, it's a super typhoon. But then when things start hitting the fan out here and people start dropping dead, we don't see them unless they want to come out and do a press conference about how they're giving everyone a raise. That's the only thing. They want to come out and they want to do a ceremony to sign a bill, but they don't want to let the media ask any questions because what's the media going to ask about? They're going to ask about COVID. So I feel like the governor, lieutenant governor, they're living in this bubble where they don't have COVID and they're not worried about it. And we're just out here, being told if we're boosted, go to work if you come close contact with a positive because, you got to keep working. Everyone got to pay your loans. So, yeah, it's frustrating. It's so frustrating. We got a very bright, intelligent lieutenant governor who, I mean, I don't know for what reason he doesn't want to come out and address the people. The governor, it seems like she's just more concerned about gallivanting off to Washington, D.C.
There goes the money.
I mean, she's over there in D.C. asking for all this money, but we have $400 million just sitting in the bank here. And we're here. We know everyone's struggling. They open this homeowner assistance fund, and they get a record number of applications when they open it. And they put out a press release acting like that's a huge accomplishment. It's not. People are applying for this because they've been desperate for far too long.
Right.
And I don't like it when they champion and they celebrate how desperate our people are. And they create this like savior complex, like, hey, everybody is so desperate. Look at us. We got all these applications. Aren't we great? No, you're not. You waited too long.
They're waiting for Treasury. That's from what I heard is they're waiting for Treasury to approve it.
That's what they say.
Yeah. But why wait for rent? Why do rental assistance? Why didn't they do both at the same time? Why wait this long? Why give it a gap to find out how much budget they're going to give to homeowners?
Yeah. And that's
what
the thing.
I don't understand.
That's the thing, ma'am, is like, people like you, people like me, we have a lot of questions and they just put stuff out and they don't think anybody can question or has questions about it. And then they don't come out and answer the questions. You're right, though. Why didn't they prepare earlier?
Right. Not only that, but the Adelup needs to. The people in Adelup, when you ask them questions, they don't know nothing. They do not know nothing. They just make up as they go, and that's what I think. Because they have to wait for the governor. Why don't they help? What is community affairs for? I'd like to ask that, Chris. What is community affairs for? In Adelup.
What is it for? Did you call there? What happened? Tell us about it.
Okay. When you ask questions, when you go down to community affairs, okay, and people are calling down to get help, What is it that they know down there that they when they answer, they don't know nothing? What are they there for? That's what I want to know is people go down to community fairs, and yet they don't know where to lead. Where are they going to lead them to get help? Because from what I know, community fairs is to help the people. That's why they send you to community affairs. It's not, oh, we'll get back to you, and then they never get back to you. Or let me look into it. Let me look into it. A lot of people from Chamorro Land Trust doesn't have water. So how do they expect them to wash their hands? How? Is this homeowners assistance going to help them with their infrastructure to help them put in water? Or is there anything that they're going to do to help the Chamorro Land Trust people? These are their people. But why do they laugh? See, that's what I don't understand. I see a lot of people, they're worried about COVID, but they want us to do the 3 W's. And one of those 3 W's are not there for people that don't have water. I don't get it. No tanks. I don't see no tanks out. Oh, we have to check with GWA. What do you mean we're going to have to check with GWA? Don't they have other sources? Isn't that why the military is helping? They can go there. They can ask them if they have water tanks to help the people.
You know, this reminds me, ma'am, of this study the CDC did on the dead on arrivals, and it was like we said with Dr. Howell. Wow, big surprise! Guess what? They're all poor people, right? They're all so poor they don't have insurance. They're living with all these comorbidities. But it kind of reminds me of what you're saying. You know, do we do enough to reach out to these people? I mean, not just these people who died and who tested positive, and we knew they were positive, but people like this caller. She's been calling up this whole damn pandemic talking about no infrastructure for Chamorro Land Trust lessees, right? I mean, ma'am, this has got to be like the 10th time you called. And
I think it's called like 20 times.
20 times. You would think someone down there at Adelut, while they're putting on their makeup or whatever, would hear it and be like, oh, my God, let's go get a water buffalo down there to, you know, Swamp Road. Or what area are you in again, ma'am?
When White Sands and Derrido is called protocol, we have to go through protocol. The first thing they say is, did you check your mayor? Excuse me, did you follow up with the mayor? Because for some reason I called down Adelut. I'm calling everywhere. Let me just follow up with the mayor. Let me follow up with the mayor. Oh, throw everything to the mayor's office. Let them do it, but yet their budget is not in. How do you expect the mayors to help their people? People are holding their money. How do you expect them to do their job or pay their employees? Because they work harder than you think. They're out there, they're one of those frontliners that deal with people every single day. They need verification, they need their gravel done, they deal with everything. But yet, when they needed their budget, where were they? Oh, let's hold on. Let's look at the budget. Let's look at the budget. Let us see what they're going to use it for. They don't see that these people work hard. The mayor's office are the backbone for the villages. But yet, let's just hold on. So when we go to the mayor's office, they cannot accommodate us for so many things is because they're waiting for their budget. To me, they give them chump change to help villages. And the villages, they're people that put them on that seat. That's why they're there. But there's only so much they can do. You don't realize that. Because they sit in an office where nobody can enter. When you go into the governor's office and you want to speak to the governor or the lieutenant governor, okay, hold on. I'd like to make an appointment. Oh, well, right, today they can't come in. Why not? Why can't we see the governor? Why can't we see the lieutenant governor? Why? Why is it that we're only seeing the staffs and we're going to take notes down and that, and we'll get back to you. Come on, Governor, Lieutenant Governor, open your eyes and see what your people are going through. Because right now, other places are looking at us and we're like a laughing stock when we shouldn't be.
Ma'am,
I don't
hold
know
on,
why they're
Kay.
gonna wait for this election.
Yeah, ma'am. Save some for the rest of the year. Hold on, Kay. We're going to get your number. I feel for you.
Okay.
And I mean, this is exactly what I'm talking about. You really pay attention.
I do.
You know that the mayors are supposed to get all this money. They're getting like 50 cents at a time.
It's funny. It's so funny, Chris.
Well, what else are we going to do? Don't tell me. We got to laugh about this stuff sometimes because or else people are just going to go crazy. So hold on, okay, ma'am?
Okay.
I got about 80 people messaging me about your phone call, so just stand by, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. Oh, man. We have some comments here. Matcha comments. Check where Adeloop's communications people are. Yeah, I don't know. Good question. Jovie, this comment to me just sums a lot of things up here. Jovie Castro comments, sitting in a line at Tizen, hoping I don't run out of gas as I wait, with a fever of 102. This is the story for many people working. Yes, it is. Jonah comments, this government administration has tunnel vision. They fail to look left or right because they don't see, they don't know. Maria comments, didn't Chris say Gov's in D.C.? I think she still is, or she might be coming back. I agree with this caller 100%. What she said is definitely true. Do you think the governor cares for her people? It shows what they treasure the most, obviously not our people. Micah comments, the governor's in the States asking for money for all of our benefit. Give her a break. Hashtag sarcasm. Matcha again comments here. Never seen the governor, lieutenant governor place their boots on the ground following the sick and see how they are doing. Any long-term effects go in line when people are applying and talk to them. Apparently they want to get rid of the sick. Unfortunately, administration and communications people can't speak up, but their salary is more important. Yeah. Very frustrating, but that's what people really are thinking. And I don't know how Adeloop has just, again, fatally misread this room. I mean, like I said, they are creating one reality where it's, pomp and circumstance with bill signings and proclamation signings and not addressing what's going on out here in the community. And people are very upset about it. They feel overlooked and overseen, right? And don't take my word for it. I could shake a tree, and I'm pretty sure there are hundreds, if not thousands, of people who feel exactly the same way as that caller did. Good morning, guys. Specific Points, Cabo Enterprises, ITN, and Jack in the box. Let's go ahead and get into our news right after the break. We are going to take a quick break real quick. It is 8:10. And, guys, there's just some little changes that we're doing here with the link. Just as a heads up, starting today. Oh, wow, heads up. Starting today. We will be ending the show at 9 o'clock, Jay.